So today in this video we are continuing with our Jarvis Friday automated voice assistant using JavaScript, that is vanilla JavaScript of course. So in this video I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff you need to get started with. So in this video I'm going to tell you about speech recognition in browsers and then how to actually use it, how to get whatever the text you are speaking out and all other stuff. So now let's start this video without any further ado. So right now I am on my VS Code and you can actually see I have already created a folder with the name Friday because we are going to create Friday. So I hope you have already watched the previous episode, that was the glimpse of Friday. Yes, I know you did. Okay, so let's create some files. I'll say index.html and then I would like to create style.css and then I would like to create let's say app.js. Okay, so these are the three files we actually are looking to work with. So let's create a basic HTML template and here let's name it Friday and let's give some spaces so that it looks pretty amazing and pretty cool. Okay, and now here let us say h1 and h1. Okay, it's been a caps lock. Okay, fine. So let us say h1 and in this h1 hi I'll just simply say we are building Friday. So this is just for testing, this is not Friday, this is just for testing. Oh, that is a lot of fun. Oh my god. So let's save it and now I'm just going to launch this HTML template with live server. So if you don't know about live server, it's just an extension which makes your basic HTML template live, and whenever you save your code it automatically refreshes the page. So this is the extension of VS Code. If you're using VS Code then it is absolutely fine, you can definitely use it. So its name is live server, the author is Ritvik D. So this is the original one, just download it. And if anything is not happening, just refresh it. But yeah, let me show you what actually happens. So if I right click here, you can see open with live server. Now you can do this open with live server only on HTML pages. Okay, just remember that. And sometimes right here in the bottom right of your VS Code you can see a go live button, and if you're on the HTML page, just clicking on that go live button will take you to the actual live page. Okay, so let me just make it live with open with live server and it will automatically open something on my browser. So here you can see hi, we are building Friday. So this is my web page. Okay, this is fine. So this is my web page. Now let me open the console so that we could just edit everything side by side. If I refresh the page, you are not going to see that error anymore. It is just because of our live server. Okay, that is fine. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my browser window a bit smaller so that we could just see everything while coding side by side. Okay, so now let me make this smaller and this one absolutely fine. Let's make this a bit smaller. Okay, this is fine. Now we can simply code side by side. Now guys, the most important thing is we actually need to add our CSS and JS file to this HTML. You know that, right? So at the end of the body tag I will just add a comment like script, and below here I will say script source, and in here I will just simply add the source file, that is app.js, and now our JS file is added. Okay, and on top I will simply say link CSS and it is simply style.css. I will say dot style.css and it is it. So absolutely fine. So this much is prepared, it is absolutely ready. Now you saw that when I saved here, let me save it again. You see when I save here on my VS Code, the Friday, the actual browser window will refresh. Okay, just see that. You saw that, right? It actually refreshes whenever you save, and now that is the magical live server. You do not need to actually refresh your page again and again. So that is the best thing, and that is the reason it is so famous also. Okay, and now let me just tell you before ending this video, I may forget it by that time, but let me just tell you that if you are going to stop live server, just don't directly close your browser and VS Code. Just close this port dot semicolon 5500 server right here before closing your VS Code, so that it will automatically perfectly close. Okay, so that is it. Now the most important thing is we need to set up voice recognition for our Friday, and voice recognition definitely stays with JavaScript. Without JavaScript enabled, your browser can't even do 1% of the work our actual Friday will do. Okay, so let us create a no script element, and in this I'll just say a statement that you need JavaScript. Okay, you need JavaScript for this web app. Okay, this is fine. Now if someone has not enabled JavaScript for their browser, they will just simply get this text on their browser window. Okay, this is fine. Now after this, what we are going to do, now we will go to app.js because we have already linked it, so no worries about that. Now in this app.js, the main thing comes up. So what is it? Now we need to actually set up the stuff that is voice recognition. So for that you need you need to use an API called the speech recognition API, which is in the browsers, which is inside the browsers. Okay, so let us create some variables for that. So I'm just simply saying const speech recognition. Let's say const speech recognition because this would be best for us. So let me make this capital so that everything looks fine. Okay, now here I'm simply saying window dot speech recognition something. Now what is it? Window dot speech recognition, this thing. Now this is that voice recognition API present in the browsers. Okay, now if you are an app developer, this would be something different, and I am not, so I don't know about that. Otherwise I would tell you, right? So I don't know about that. And why am I keeping this thing? I have never seen this. Oh, so this is just an OR symbol because something may not have speech recognition. So for all browsers who have speech recognition, we have something called window.webkit speech recognition, and I don't see that suggestion here, so I have to type some more, which I don't like. So here we need to say speech recognition back again, and this is it. Now this is a variable we actually need to create. So this is the first step of creating this, of starting with speech recognition. So you can consider this video as a tutorial for speech recognition in JavaScript. Okay, now after this we need to create another variable which will create our new speech recognition. Okay, so I'm just simply saying const recognition. Let's make it recognition. Const recognition equal to new, not speech grammar, it is speech recognition. Okay, new speech recognition, and this is a function, so we just keep these circular braces, okay, or brackets, whatever it may be. Okay, fine. Now actually we are going to use this recognition variable again and again, so all of the things in speech recognition are actually using this. Okay, so that is fine. Now after this, what can we do? Okay, let me show you what actually happens. So this recognition now has some things like on start, on result. Now what is that? I'm going to tell you. So first of all, let's start with on start. So I'm just simply saying recognition dot on start. Okay, it's not audio start, it's on start. Now it will have a function. You can have anything, but in our case we only need to call some function on start. Whenever someone starts to speak something, this browser speech recognition will automatically capture it, and whenever it is on start, like it starts capturing, then this function will run. Okay, now first suppose we have a function which is simply logging what? Voice recognition. I'm just simply saying VR for voice recognition, and here active. Okay, VR active, so this is fine. Now we have something called recognition dot on end also, so let's just add that. Now this is on end, it is similar, that is simply a function. Okay, what did I do? Okay, that is something different we don't know about right now, so we just need to do function. And in this function we need to again to something like this, and in here we will simply again log what? Voice recognition deactivated. Okay, or let's say deactive. Now this much is fine. Now what actually happens here is when recognition starts, this will log this, and when recognition stops, it will log this. But how will it start? So that is why we have to create some button so that we can start this voice recognition. And how are we going to do that? But before that, to make our code a bit cleaner, let's add some comments here. So I will simply say here speech recognition setup. Now this is fine, and after here we have speech recognition start. I will simply write SR start, and here I will write SR stop. Now this should be fine. Okay, now let's create some buttons so that we could just start and stop the voice recognition. I'm going to my index.html file, and here simply I will create two buttons I mean, and let's give VR start. Okay, and the next one will be VR stop. Okay, the next one is VR stop, and now let's just give them an ID so that we could select these buttons. Now let's say ID start, ID stop. Now this much is fine. Now we actually need to select these buttons in our app.js. For now I am closing this style.css because we are not styling anything right now in here. So now let's select the variables on the topmost. So here I will say elements. Okay, here let's say const. I will say start button. Start button. Now let's say start button is equals to document dot query selector hashtag btn start, right? It was, I don't remember actually, it was start and stop, hashtag start and hashtag stop. Now let's say let's make this stop, and now we have both our buttons selected right here. Now guys, if you don't know about document.query selector, it is also a DOM functionality which allows you to select elements based on like IDs, classes. Now here it is an ID, so that is why we are directly putting hash. Now if you want like select it by get element by ID, you can even do that, but I mostly prefer this because it is just looks like pretty common in all my lines of code, so I definitely use this. Now I don't recommend you to always use this, it's your choice. Okay, now we have selected some buttons. Now what we will do, now here we have start button, this we have the start button, right? And here we're just adding an add event listener. Let's say when I click it, what you do is an arrow function, and within that arrow function I am just saying recognition dot start. Now what does this mean? When I click on the start button, start my recognition, that is what I want to say. Oh my god, fine. Now simply we again do something similar with the stop button. Now you may already have guessed what we are going to do. Stop btn.add event listener, click, and whenever I click on it, just simply do recognition dot stop. Okay, now it should be doing our stuff. Now let's see what actually happens here. Okay, now I am going to click on VR start. Now just see what happens. Now before I click on it, at the top where you see your title, right? Currently let me just mark it. You see that circle, and there you will get a red dot. Okay, some browsers indicate it with the red dot, some browsers in a different way. Now when I say VR start, you see that red dot here, and you see VR active in the console. Okay, now let me make it a bit bigger. You could see VR active in here. Now it is active. Now when I say VR stop, you see what happens. VR deactive, and at the top that red symbol has gone. Now that is something beautiful. Now see what happens when I'm continuously speaking and suddenly I stop. That red dot will automatically stop. Just see what happens. Hi, Hello, cool. Oh my god. So now you saw that I didn't press VR stop at all, but that red dot has gone and VR deactive has already been called. Now this is something the browsers have. That is, if I don't talk anything in between, the voice recognition will automatically stop. Cause like if you are using Google voice search, what happens when you stop talking, the browser automatically stops the voice recognition and search for the keywords you have spoken till that time you have stopped speaking anymore. Okay, now that may be a bit confusing, but I know you have already understood it. Okay, that is fine. Now we are deactivated, he's already been called, because we are not telling this to call whenever I click on this button. We are telling it to call whenever the voice recognition stops. So now this is automatically stopping this, so that is the reason that this is automatically being called. Now you get it. Okay, now these were the basics. Now how do I say to make it continuous? How can I make it continuous? Now this is one feature which is not supported in Chrome, which is not supported in Google Chrome. Just listen to me, which is not supported in Google Chrome, and that is the reason I am using Edge here. And I usually use Edge, that is common, and I usually use Edge in here. So because I like Edge. Now this doesn't mean that I hate Chrome, it just makes my machine slower. So that is the reason I use Edge, and I like Edge a lot. Okay, now that is fine. Now how to make it continuous, like the voice recognition just is activated for long time until I don't stop it. Now it is just a single line. Now I have added a comment SR continuous. Now for this we just need to add something called recognition dot continuous is equal to true. Now it is simply continuous and always it is true. If I say false, it is not continuous. If I say true, it is continuous. Okay, now this is fine. Now if I save it and if I click on VR start, just see on that red button, even I stop talking, it has been activated now. Right now I'm going to stop myself from talking. And you see it's still not stopped. So now when I click on VR stop, what is actually going to happen? Just see. And VR deactive and that red dot has gone. Now you just trust me, right? That this recognition.continuous is working. That is fine. Okay. Now this much is done. Now how will I see that before setting this up, how will I say that something, how will my Jarvis, or maybe Friday, if you are also building Friday, how will my Jarvis build, like how will my Jarvis speak out? So first of all, let's see that. Okay, how will my Jarvis speak out? So for that, let me just simply say a function. But before that, let me add a comment so that it would be easier for us to recap whenever we are seeing the past code. Okay, so here I am saying Friday speech. Now you can add Jarvis speech or Friday speech, it's your choice. It is absolutely perfect. Now in here we are defining a function. Now here you can define an arrow function, anything, it's your choice, but I am defining a normal function, normal JavaScript syntax function, and I will simply say it to be readout. Now in here this readout function will have a parameter which is the message or your input, whatever. For now let me add message. Okay, now this is a message, it actually speaks out. Okay, and in this function what we actually need to do, we actually need to use another API called speech synthesis utterance. Let me show that to you. I have defined a variable called speech, and for this I am assigning that new speech synthesis utterance and a function. Okay, and after this we have something called speech.text. What do this speech needs to speak out? what will it speak out? Now that is our message. Now the message is what it has to speak it out, right? We are passing in a parameter string that is a message, and that is what this speech recognition or speech output has to speak out. My Jarvis, my Friday has to speak out. Now for that you can assign a volume. I am assigning the volume to be 1, not column, it's volume, not voice, it's volume. Okay, I'm assigning it to be 1. It is, I think it's defaultly 1, but I like to assign it previously. And after this you can do speech.rate, speech.pitch, and a lot of stuff. Guys, in a few minutes I'm also going to tell you that how you can actually change your Jarvis, your Friday's voice also. Okay, so that is going to be pretty much amazing. That function is also going to be in this readout function only. Okay, now that will be something very much epic. So let us just get going for that. Now here we actually need to do one thing. Now for normal speech, for a female voice speech, this much is better. Now actually my Friday, that is my iamfriday.netlify.app, which I showed you in the previous episode, contains the default voice that is a female voice, so we don't need to change it, but I will tell you how to change it as though we don't require if you want a female voice. Okay, now after the speech.volume we just need to have something called window dot speech synthesis dot speak. Now what do you want to speak? The speech which we have passed in. Now this is what you actually need to speak. Now we have added our stuff to this speak, what is its text, what is its volume, and other stuff, and you actually finally need to speak it out. Okay, and after this I am just simply saying console.log speaking out. Okay, I forgot quotes. Now this much is pretty good. And after this, what next? Now actually we need to call this function, right? So I'm again creating a button like speak out. And let me give it an ID. Fine. Let me simply select it. Fine. Now whenever I click on it, now this is just an example, guys. This is just an example. This will not be our final code. We have to modify it a lot to make it perfect, which you saw in the previous episode, and more than that. Okay, so this is just an example. So I said a speak button dot add event listener, on click add an arrow function, and in this arrow function what I want to say, call the readout function. Okay, what happened I don't know. Okay, call the readout function with a hard-coded message. Now hard-coded means I am just giving it, it is not user input, it is present in the code. Okay, I am passing in message, or let's say hi my dear lovely subscribers, let's code something epic today. And that is what we are doing, right? Now this is a message, hi my dear lovely subscriber, let's code something epic today. Now that is what our browser will speak out when I click on the button speak out right here. Okay, so just see what happens, but before that let me just increase my volume to 100% so that you could listen it. Okay, just have a look now.
Hi my dear lovely subscribers, let's code something epic today.
Now guys, did you heard that out? Oh my god, now let's change something. Now see what I have written. Hello my data, not data, it's dear. You guys are my dear, right? So that is the reason. Hello my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet, not our. Its vocabulary is very bad. Okay, actually mine. So now I'm saving it and see if I click on speak out.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
Now I love this. Okay, now in a few minutes I will also tell you something more epic, but before that let's see how we can change the voice. So for that you don't need to actually do much of this stuff. It is some simple thing. But what is it? Now there is a function, something called as what do you say it? Now first of all I will like to show that to you on the browser. Okay, if I show you on the browser then you will like it. So it is something called speech synthesis.get voices. Now here let's say that. Okay, now right now I am telling you that how you can get different voices. Okay, how you can get different voices. Now this is what I'm going to tell you now. Now for different voices, let me create a variable which will consist all the list of all different voices. Okay, now here we have something called speech synthesis, which we defined earlier. Speech synthesis dot get voices. Now this is a function which will give us the list of the voices. Now I'm just copying it, pasting it in the console of our actual browser. Now if I run this, you see a list of different functions. Now let me make it big. Now we have a total of 40 voices, I guess, and here you have the list of voices. Now this voice URI is actually the name, and here you have the language, kind of slang, Bulgaria, Sedge or something, whatever you like you can choose. The boy voice will be here, Mark, David is 35, Mark is 38, Ravi is 36. Now Ravi is from India, David is from United States, and the initial one is, I think this one is initial one, or maybe it may be 0 or something. We have to see about that, but I actually don't know what is the default one. Now how to set our actual voice. Now let's see for Ravi, which is 36. Remember the index, that is 36. I just write it here, 36. Okay, fine. Now let me make it small back again, keep it right here. Okay, fine. And I'm again going to my previous function. Now I did get voices, and here I'm simply saying speech.voice is actually equal to a voice from this all voices we have just created before a few seconds maybe. And in these voices I want the 36th index, right? This 36th index, which I noted down for my safety so that I couldn't forget it. Okay, now the voice should have been changed. Let's see what happens. You should get a male voice for now. Let's see. Now the text is same. Hello my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
But this was a female voice. What happened to you? Oh my god. Something seems I have to check it once. Let me refresh.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
So guys, did you saw something? That when I pressed speak out for the first time, it gave you a female voice, which is the default voice, because actually this function has to call once and there it actually needs to get the default voice. And whenever I click on the speak out again, this calls this function back again, then it checks for the actual voice I am giving it. So I think that is the reason I gave it a default voice, so that it doesn't change its voice in between. So to fix this, if you want a male voice but you want to fix this, how you can do that? Now whenever you do window.onload, when the browser is actually loaded, just do this much. Now just let me add it as a comment. Okay, so what we actually need to do, window.onload, make it a function which does what? Which simply does which calls this readout function with some empty spaces, so that that female voice is automatically taken up, and and from the next time our speak button will speak out in a male voice. So now guys, I definitely don't know why it is not speaking out anything, but just give me a sec. I will close the port once, and then I will relaunch this site. Then maybe it may run as previously. Now guys, I don't know what is happening.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
This becomes a meme, guys. So what can I say about this? It doesn't listen to me. Now it is actually depending on my internet connection, which is too slow today. I just forgot about that. Currently this is not my actual Wi-Fi, so that is the reason my internet is too slow today, and that may be one of the reasons this actually happens. Now if I do speak out again.
Hello, my dear enthusiastic devs on the planet.
Fine. Now I'm saving it. Oh my god. I'm again clicking on speak out. So guys, right now I definitely know what is happening here. Maybe the internet issue, but I think this should definitely work. I want you guys, right now I have a homework. You take it in any way, but currently it is not working in my machine, so you could just try this thing out in your machine and just tell me in the comments whether it is working or not. Okay, so that I could just get a confidence that yes, you guys are coding along with me, you guys are learning new stuff on your own, and that is pretty amazing, and that is what I want you to do. So right now I'm removing this line of code. I'm refreshing the piece of shit maybe for now, but we are going to make it epic. Right, now this is the thing. Now how can I do something so that it takes my speech and speak it out? How can I do that? Now that is something important, and that is the main purpose. We are building a voice assistant which will do things for us, not for someone else. Like not for text, not for something, not for hard coded stuff. Actually, whatever we speak, it gives a particular reply for that. Now this is what I am here for, right? So guys, now we again have some more important stuff. Now this is the most important stuff if you are gonna make Jarvis, because the most important stuff is that we need to get that text. Now where do we add that text? Now that is in on start. No, it's in on result. Now definitely you have to get that text whenever the speech recognition stops, right? Whenever the speech recognition stops, then you need to get it. Now let me show you with an example. For now I will show you everything with proof, okay? So don't worry. So let's say we have an event, okay? That is a parameter we are taking, and from this parameter only we can actually get the things we are talking about. Okay, I have something called event, but before this let me comment out this continuous, because it will break our flow in between. Okay, so I'm just saying an event, and I will simply say log that event. Now I'm saving it. Hi, hello. So guys, I did something wrong. That is, we actually need this event not in start. We do want to have it in on result and not in here, actually up here. And if I save it again, hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be, bye bye, tada. So now you see voice recognition stopped and some stuff came up to us. Now here we have an object, and in this object we have to go for some result event dot result index, and just find where it is. Now we got some. Now we need to take that the thing I was talking about, result index, right? We have to take it in as a variable. So let's say let maybe current let current is equal to something called that event, the same event dot result index. Now this is what I was looking for, but I'm not able to find it anywhere. Then let's say, now this is the most important thing, that is transcript. Now you need to take the transcript of whatever you are talking. Now that comes from the current thing only. Just see what happens. I have this event, right? From that event I want to go to dot results, and within dot results I want to go to the array that is on current. Now this gives you a number, that is the index of your result, and from that result index I want to go from these results inside the event. Inside the event I want to the array which I want to get to the element which is in this position within the array. Okay, now fine. After, now we again get an array from this. Okay, now from this is the thing which comes right now is again an array, and from that array we need to get the first one. The first one is always 0 in JavaScript. The array's first index is 0. So now from here we need to get dot transcript. Now this is what we need to get, and that is it. Now we got our transcript, and now here if I could simply say console log this transcript, now it will simply console log whatever we are speaking in. Okay, now just see what happens. Now I hope everything works fine, but we have to see about that and fix it if anything goes wrong. Hi Friday, I am the one who is creating you. Please work fine. Okay, now something happened here. I don't know what. It is saying we got an error at app.js22, which is this line of code. Okay, now I definitely know what the thing I have done. You saw something. I'm talking about on result from start, but till now I have not created it. Oh my god, what am I? Now this is on end, this is not on result. We want on end, guys. Oh my god, I am really sorry for this. I wasted a lot of your time. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Now here we need to say sr result, or you may say on result. So recognition dot on result, and it is also a function, and in this function we need to get that event, and now it should definitely work fine as we are looking for. Now let me comment it, and now let me log this event. I saved it. Require is not defined. Oh, from where did I get this? Hi, please work fine this time. Okay, now I hope something good happens now. Okay, this time we have results, guys. We have now results. So now we need to go to event.results. Okay, we have results index to be 0. You saw that is what we were saving as current, and we have this results also. In this results we want to get to current, which was 0, and this is 0, right? This is 0, this complete thing is 0, and within this 0 we want to get dot transcript. Now I don't see transcript anywhere. Okay, here transcript is. You could see hi, please work fine this time. Oh my god, that was what I spoke out. Now this is absolutely good. This is actually working fine. Oh my god, now I am very happy. Oh wow. Now I'm just simply removing this. Now I'm simply doing this stuff so that I could get whatever I'm speaking out. Hi, my name is whatever you think. Oh my god, guys, did you saw here? Hi, my name is whatever you think. Oh my god, this is epic. I like it a lot. Now this is absolutely something epic, guys. Just see, hi, my name is whatever you think. That is what I just spoke out, right? You do heard it. Okay. So now we did how to speak it out. Now I just want to say one thing, that if this transcript, after this transcript, instead of this, I'm simply saying read out the transcript. Now whatever I speak, it will read out for me. Okay, now I'm removing this voice stuff because I don't need it, but I hope you have already accessed it, or let me just comment it out. Okay, so that you may just get while you are getting the code, it would be perfect for you. Okay, now I saved it. I hope I did everything perfect this time. Okay, fine. So now if I click on VR start, hi, my name is Ashish. Okay, now reading out, speaking out has already come, so I think reading out should also work, but it is not working cause my internet connectivity, I already said about that. It will speak anywhere in between, so I'm just refreshing it so that it should not speak. But guys, trust me, it will definitely work. Now today my internet connectivity is slow. I will definitely make sure that from the next take our internet connectivity is badass, very fast. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed a lot of stuff in today's episode. You got to know about speech recognition in JavaScript and other stuff. So guys, this was all for this episode. In the next episode, what are we going to say? Now I have a small work for you. Just see this readout transcript and tell me whether it is working or not in your machine. Currently I said why it is not working in mine, but it will, and definitely it will work whether you are using Chrome or what. This stuff will actually work. Okay, this stuff will actually work. This readout stuff will actually work. This transcript readout will actually work, so don't worry about this. So guys, that is it for this video. In the next episode we will be creating, like, if I say hi, the machine will say as hello. So that is the most epic stuff we are going to do in the next episode. So don't worry. Until then, bye. Just code this stuff on your own. Just see the video once and then try to code everything on your own, and that is how you're gonna learn something new. So until then, bye guys.